be here today, and I want to say thank you to Vinfen and Terry and everybody who brought me here. It's a real privilege to be here, and so thank you. I graduated from Stonehill College, which is in Easton. It's going to be, actually, it was just recently, over a year ago. It was May last year.
Sorry.
And
Yeah, congrats.
It's awesome.
thanks. And so I've been doing some writing and motivational speaking for the past couple of months now. And I've been doing the blog since I graduated last year. And it really took off from just writing some things about my life growing up with disability. I have cerebral palsy, which is muscle weakness in my legs, and it mostly affects my right side of my upper body and my legs. But I also play wheelchair basketball, and I went to high school in Situate, so I spent the most of my life growing up in Situate. I was born in Weymouth, so I moved from Weymouth when I was 6, and then since then I was in Situate, and I went to high school, and then I went to Stonehill for the past 2 years. Before that, I transferred from Dean College, so I started at Dean College for the first 2 years, which was a great start, but then I realized I needed a change, so that's how I transferred over to Stonehill. And it was an easy transition because I had a bunch of friends over there, and so it was a very easy transition for me to go from Dean to Stonehill, and it was a great experience. And so when I graduated, like anybody who graduates from college, you don't really know what you want to do. But I studied healthcare and communications, and I've always known that I wanted to be an advocate for those with disabilities. So what I did was I started the blog because, I wanted to work in healthcare. I wanted to do what I could to advocate on behalf of those with disabilities. So what I did was I got in touch with people that I knew in the disability community, and last summer I did a leadership conference for people with disabilities. It was held at Bridgewater State College, and I was able to do some speaking there, and throughout that experience and being at Stonehill, I realized that, I could be an advocate for those with disabilities. I could, show people that you are capable of doing anything you want despite being in a wheelchair, despite having those limitations. And the attitude that I kind of developed over the years, despite living with the disability, and I say living with the disability because it doesn't hold you back from doing anything that you want. I went to college, like I said, I went to high school, had, the typical upbringing, and I have a brother who, I say all the time that if I didn't have my brother and I didn't have the supportive family that I have, I wouldn't have made it this far. They are the type of people that, show me that anything is possible. And, despite that I have a disability, they were always like pushing me to do different things and grow and reach outside my comfort zone. And I've grown up with a disability that anything is possible. And anything is possible despite your disability. So people in your life will put you in positions to be successful. But you have to be the one that ultimately says, yeah, I want this, I want to do something better with my life. And I'm very lucky because I have seen a lot of people with disabilities who have more severe forms of cerebral palsy, and I feel very fortunate to have the mobility that I have. I also can use a walker, so I can walk. So I've been very fortunate to have, been brought up with the mindset that anything is possible, and I've been very supported by my family, and I just feel very blessed to be in this position, to, do this type of thing, and have a positive impact on people, not only with disabilities, but anybody who needs a little extra motivation. And I have talked to a lot of people with disabilities, and one of the things I learned at that conference I was talking about in Bridgewater is that we need a lot more people with disabilities to step up and take a leadership role. And a lot of, people in our position, they feel as though they can't do that because of the disability, and it's something that's holding them back. But that's not true. That's never been true, and it shouldn't ever be part of anybody's mindset. I have had the opportunity to step outside my comfort zone and try new things. And yeah, I've messed up a lot, and I've had a lot of things that would, test my resolve, test my strength. But all those things, they're worth having because they make you stronger. Every time you have something that's difficult, it makes you stronger. So it's not really one of those things that you look down upon. You have things that you struggle with, but that's okay because everybody has things that they struggle with. Despite, you might not be a person that defines themselves as a person with a disability, but the reality is that everybody in this room, everybody, I don't care who you are, everybody who is living has things they struggle with. I don't care who you are because it's true. If you didn't struggle, you are not human. And so that's one of the big things that I look at is when I grow up, when I do these types of things, everybody has things that they struggle with. And, it might be hard to see that in the day-to-day things because people get caught up in, the routines of life. And he's like, why do I have to get up for this job? It's just so routine. And after day, I do the same thing. And I just get so bored. It's like, you can use your situation to have a positive impact. You don't have to do anything big. It's not like you have to go out and make this big change in your life. By doing something small for somebody, smiling at somebody who needs happiness in their life, holding a door for somebody in a wheelchair. I've learned to, be very independent in my chair and do things for myself. But I still appreciate somebody who holds the door open for me. It's like, when you're having a bad day, somebody does something small for you, it's like the greatest thing. For me, it's like, if somebody buys me a coffee, that's like the greatest thing in the world. But that's perfect for me. But it's like that little thing, it takes you away from the small things in life that bother you. Because if you can focus on that one thing that makes you happy, that big picture, it can get you through to the end of the week, to the end of the month, till something good happens. And it's like, okay, you might not have the best day, the best week. You might not be having the best day at your job, or you might have a bad day at school because you had a fight with a friend, or an argument with a teacher, or you did really poorly on a test. But in the grand scheme of things, is that really going to affect any of your goals, any of your aspirations? What is your goal? What is the big picture? What are you really trying to do? Like, if you have a bad day at work or a bad test, like, is that really going to affect your overall? And that's like one of the things that I try to tell people, well, is that this is what works for me. This is like acronym. So I'm a very talkative person. This is what works for me. Hopefully, if I explain it, it'll work for you. So communicate, talk to people, you feel your emotions. And then you talk it out, find a friend, find someone that you trust, and be like, hey, this is what's bothering me. I don't really know how to react to this, but if you listen to me, and we can figure this out together. So you communicate, you feel, you let yourself feel the emotions because you don't want to bottle it up. The worst thing you can do is bottle things up and say, oh yeah, I could do this on my own. It's okay to say that you can't do it on your own, because you know what? A lot of times people think you have, in order to be this, macho person who doesn't need any help, you think you gotta put on a Superman cape to, say I could do this on my own, I don't need any help. It's okay. You can say that you need help. It's not a sign of weakness. I've actually realized that asking for help is a sign of strength. Because, I'll tell you a story. First time I went to the cafeteria at the first college I went to, Dean in Franklin, like I originally said before, I was dead set on being the most independent person that I could be. Sounds perfect, right? I'm going to try to be the most independent person that I could be. And sounds like it's going to be all roses and sunshine, but it's not. Because I went to the cafeteria, I tried to make a salad with chicken on it, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be healthy, I'm going to do this all by myself, and I'm going to be all proud of myself at the end of the day. So I try to do that. I roll over to the salad bar, way too high for me to reach in the chair. So I'm pulling myself up to a stand position, trying to reach over to get the tongs. Making the salad, drop the tongs on the ground. It's really? This is awesome. So I'm reaching down on the ground, trying to get the tongs. And it's felt like 45 minutes to an hour of just reaching for stuff. And I was like, I need to use what I'm good at, use my energy for something better than this. It's yeah, I wanted to be all independent. I wanted to do everything, or mostly everything, on my own. And then I was like, really? Do I really want to spend my whole college career shutting out people just so I can prove this? I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I am my